What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are into things like personal finance, investing, gold, silver, stocks, real estate, all that good stuff, please like and subscribe to this channel and check out my website, My Road to Wealth and Freedom. Quick disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own research or seek out the advice of a financial advisor before making any investment decisions like buying gold and silver or pursuing any of the strategies I discuss on this channel. This channel is, once again, strictly for entertainment purposes only, so do your own research. All investing has some type of risk, including you could lose everything. All right, guys. Wow, it's been a while since I put out a video. We're back in lockdown. We have kids homeschooling for the past month, which has been a real struggle to get anything done around here between my job, my wife's job, the kids are in school. It's just been chaos. I'll be so happy once this ends. I was able to get out yesterday, May 1st. Today's May 2nd, and I did a little snippet at the beach. I want to show you guys, so please stay tuned for that. Just a little bit of thoughts and reflecting, as I'm sure many of you guys are doing as well. On the gold and silver front, it's been crazy. Gold's been up roughly about $100 from the bottom a month ago. It looks like it made a bottom, although it's kind of on its way back down again. Silver's kind of hanging in there at the $25, $26 level. Yesterday is May 1st. Everybody was out there agitating for another silver squeeze part 2. So guys, do your part. I know some of the major channels out there were talking about, if you're a stacker, try to pick up 100 ounces, which is pretty pricey, I think, for most people. But do whatever you can. You can even pick up a 10 ounce, probably it's $400 maybe Canadian, something like that. So, we can all sort of do our part. It's a great hedge in this era of currency debasement, endless debt and deficit spending, money printing and all that. It's probably wise to start, if you don't already have a small position or any hard assets at all. It's probably worth a little bit of your time and effort to pick up a few ounces of silver if you're not that committed, or maybe you can pick out one of these beautiful 1 ounce Canadian maples, or if you're an American, you can pick out one of these beautiful gold buffaloes. These are one of my favorites. These are a little bit more expensive than the maples. That said, you know what? The stock market has done remarkably well. Every day this thing keeps pushing higher. I know it's come off a couple 100 points in the past, like last week there, but you know what? It's to be expected. It's month end. I'm just stunned that it's kind of maintained its momentum in that. But as we all know, all good things must eventually come to an end. So I'm still pursuing the same strategy that I told you guys about earlier in the year. I'm paying off all my debt, including my mortgage, and I'm being very, very careful with my investments, where I'm throwing money, and even on the precious metal front, I'm not 100% convinced that we're not going to see, some major deflation coming. I'm probably going to be dead wrong. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But I don't have all my eggs in one basket, and I don't think anybody should have all their eggs in one basket. I like stacking my gold and silver, but I also like owning a lot of, high quality dividend paying stocks that are going to hopefully hold up through any type of, deflationary force or event, or even hold their value in situations where we might get high inflation, like back in the 70s and that. So again, I think it's all about balance. You don't want to have any debt. I just don't think that, buying these homes, I'm talking about the housing market. Obviously consumer debt is, the numbers are a lot smaller, but people are buying these like $1 million, million plus homes. They're saddled with a huge mortgage because of these record low interest rates. What I'm learning on my journey to actually paying off my mortgage, you can have a low interest rate, but just paying the principal back is hard as hell. It's not easy, and I don't owe that much. I think it's 150,000, under 150 grand. It's been tough to get that paid down. I've sold some investments to pay it down, and can't make any other payments until the fall. So, because I've reached my maximum um, prepayment thing. So, anyway, it's just one of the things I learned. You know what? It's really tough. I think the more I do the personal finance thing, the more I learn about all this stuff, and the more I actually experience what it's like to pay off a mortgage, to pay off a car, or pay off a student loan, or to invest your money and do all this stuff, buy rentals. And I guess like the more I realize is that it's really comes down to your cost of living. And it's fine. Yes, record low interest rates, have a big mortgage, but the second that you lose your job, which was quite unexpected for a lot of people last year, um, nobody's safe. Companies are downsizing. They're pushing technology and stuff like that. There's cost cutting and savings all to be had all the way around. So I don't think anybody should really be playing with that type of fire. Um, in Canada, our housing market is on fire, as like most of the world's housing market is on fire. The US is crazy, probably not as crazy as up here in Canada, but it is really, really, really expensive for homes. And honestly, if you're a buyer, I just sit this one out. Same thing with stocks. Stocks are trading at heights we haven't seen since like the dot-com bubble and beyond, even bigger than that. I'm sitting it out. I'm not playing. And that's the thing, right? When it comes to your money, it's just that. It's your money. You do what's right for you. You don't need to play anybody's game. You don't need to do anything. I just put out my net worth on my road to wealth and freedom yesterday. We're up about, I think, 17,000 last month. Had I been all in on the market, I might have been up double that. But the point is it could have gone the other way as well, and you could be down. My approach has always been, especially as of late, it's just I've been really, really conservative. And I guess I can afford to be wrong. I've said this time and time again. In my opinion, it's deflation that's going to kill most people, kill their finances, destroy their lives. That is the biggest boogeyman out there in personal finance, in the world, in economics today. And central banks are doing everything they possibly can to stop that, to forestall it, or whatever. Everybody's on the fence. They may be successful, they may be not. I don't know. I just look at it like, maybe we won't get deflation. If we don't get deflation, what's the worst possible thing that happens to me? I miss out on some investment gains, but I got a house that's paid off. I don't have a high cost of living. I still have other assets. I still have, some stocks and stuff like. So I'm not dead in the water, and that's my point. Nobody should be investing for any one. No, never go all in on any one thing. I'm also invested for inflation. I have oil stocks. I have gold and silver and real estate and all sorts of stuff like that to protect me, just in case I'm wrong. I could be horribly wrong. Maybe we won't see deflation, or maybe it will be just a quick transitory event, and I didn't have to freak out and worry about all this stuff. Maybe not. Who knows? So I'm kind of playing both sides, and I guess there's a kind of a third way that I see people are slowly starting to whisper about. It's basically the Japanification of the world economy, where, Japan's been dead in the water for 30 years. Doesn't really go up much, doesn't really go down much. It's just basically kind of like a zombie economy. And that's kind of a third way that they see the global economy evolving. I'm not 100% convinced on that. I mean, there's a lot of major structural changes going on out there. We have rising powers, declining powers. We have all sorts of stuff. International, the international economy, international politics, and all that. That's really, really complicated stuff. There might be wars. Who knows? My bet is that we're not just going to sit and stagnate along for very long at all. I think things will come to a head pretty quick. So particularly if we run into issues with the US dollar, China might come out tomorrow and say, hey, our digital yuan is backed by gold and oil or something like that. And then what? So, which brings me to an interesting article that I read a couple days ago. This is in the National Post, which is sort of like a conservative, center, right-leaning paper up here in Canada, but it's written by Conrad Black. It's a really interesting read, particularly the end. He's kind of talking about a way forward for Canada, how, the Trudeau government basically has done nothing for 6 years, got us into a whole pile of debt, basically killed the economy, destroyed our natural resource sector, and is basically the do-nothing prime minister, which I totally agree with, by the way. I totally agree with that. He has not been very good for Canada at all, unless you count photo ops. But where he goes is he's talking about, how Canada can kind of, take this, use this crisis to its advantage and kind of come out and, be a real leader on the global stage. And of course, our leaders would never do this, but it just goes to show that now more and more people are really starting to talk this way. And I just want to read the very end of this article because it was really interesting, especially for all of us stackers, all of us hard money people, Austrian economics, all that stuff. This is what Conrad Black writes. I'll throw a link up in the article if you guys want to have a read. We should lead the world back to hard currencies. Now they're all losing value, are defined only in terms of other currencies, and the inflation yardstick is increasingly unrepresentative of the real cost of living, especially in the United States, where the cost of cars and housing are not counted. John Maynard Keynes was correct that the gold standard is an anachronism that's too easily manipulated. But if we backed our currency with a composite yardstick of gold, essential consumer costs, things like housing and energy, and oil, and then in brackets he writes, and ended our war against the energy industry, and believably promise to maintain a stable currency, the world's deposits in our institutions would skyrocket. We would graduate almost overnight from the obscurity we have richly earned as stragglers in worldwide herd profligate spending and constant devaluation, and money would flood into this country. We have not had an original fiscal or monetary thought in Canada since the housing bubble burst in 2008. We are on a treadmill to oblivion, and if the official opposition does not produce an alternate path, we will reach our destination. So yeah, there's a lot in there obviously to unpack. He's talking about how the CPI is basically manipulated. It doesn't represent. It's nowhere near the real cost of living. I mean, I just got my auto and home insurance, and they're regularly going up 10 to 15% per year. As is life insurance premiums, and if you have benefits with your employer or a long-term disability, our Canada pension plan, it just keeps increasing, and so they're taking more of our today dollars in this Canada pension plan, and they're saying, yeah, when you're 60, 65, whenever, you'll be able to pull this money out. Well, of course, at that time, they're promised to pay you $500, $800 a month. I mean, what's that really going to buy you? Maybe, half a week's worth of groceries. Like, it's ridiculous. And it just never ends. So anyway, it's just interesting because I see, there's voices in almost every country now talking about hard currencies again. Whether or not, you want to peg it to things like timber and, oil and gold, silver, or whatever, or a basket of that as well as essential consumer goods and stuff like food. It just needs to be a real number because, people aren't like, we see it everywhere. In the grocery store, we see shrinkflation where, the block of cheese you bought last year is 500 grams. This year it's 450 or 400 or whatever. I mean, that's ridiculous. We also see, just plain inflation. Like I just said, like, the cost to heat a home, the cost, everybody's constantly raising their prices. Get a plumber and see what they charge now. I mean, to fix a leaky faucet is like $300. It's insane. But I mean, there you go, right? Everybody has their overhead costs. Everyone has their car lease, their business overhead, all sorts of stuff. So on and on and on it goes. yeah, anyway, just thought it's very interesting. You know, more and more voices are coming out discussing this type of stuff. So, you know, I won't go on too much longer about that. I did want to mention, and as you'll see in my little beach part of the video, um, I bought 500 shares of Equinox Gold. This is not an investment recommendation. It's just a stock that I've been kind of eyeing for a little while. It's like a mid cap gold producer. Um, my own personal thought, I've heard some like very famous, you know, industry guys like Rick Rule, a few others, I can't remember their names, you know, they've kind of mentioned this one as well. Again, this is not a buy recommendation, but I just thought, you know what, it might be worthwhile just kind of tucking a little something away. It's not super expensive. I think it's under $10 a share. I think that's Canadian dollars as well. I think it's 860 US. So, you know, if you have a little bit of money, you want to speculate with it, which is what I would consider this to be, you know, a speculation, not so much an investment. It doesn't pay a dividend, but you know what, these type of companies get bought out, especially if we're in a bull market for the precious metals. I mean, you know, we haven't found very many large deposits in the last 30 years. Like, there's just on and on and on. The majors need to start replenishing their reserves. So, yeah, anyway, guys, so I hope you enjoyed that. Check out my website, My Road to Wealth and Freedom. I just, like I said, just published the net worth. I'm still being super conservative. I'm happy. We're still growing. I think we're up about 17,500 in the run of the month, which is to me incredible since, like I said, I have a lot of cash on the sidelines. I'm really limited in terms of my debt payoff. So yeah, it's nice to see, you know, what I do have kind of working for me is still pulling a lot of weight. It's not like I just sat back and saved a ton of money. I got nailed with a whole bunch of unexpected expenses last month, like my car. I had to get a computer, just a whole bunch of different things. So, you know, not cheap, any of those things. So it just goes to show you it's good to have a little bit of cash on hand sometimes. So it's not a big crisis when you run into these unexpected expenses and that. So, okay, guys, that's it. Thanks so much for joining. If you haven't done so already, please like and subscribe to my video and check out this next piece on my little trip to the beach. What's up, YouTube? Just another beautiful day here on Lake Ontario. Off in the distance here you can see we have the city of Toronto. I'm not really sure if you guys can see that, but it's a beautiful weekend, nice sunny weather. Spring is definitely here. It's beautiful down by the lake. If you guys haven't done so already, take this time, just enjoy a little bit of time with friends and family if you can. We're still in lockdown here in southern Ontario. But anyways, hopefully some good stuff ahead. I just decided to film this stuff. It's just really so beautiful down here, down by the water, down by the lake. Just walking along the beach, looking at the pebbles, just chilling out, reflecting. So if you guys haven't done so, peace of mind. I think it's something that we all need every once in a while. Just enjoy the weekend. Plan on putting this out either tonight or tomorrow. And I got some more things I want to say about some recent purchases. I picked up 500 shares of Equinox Gold there the other day, and I'm looking at buying a little bit of more gold and silver. By the way, guys, it's May 1st. If you guys haven't done so, I guess there's a second silver squeeze going on. Be sure to pick up that silver, and every little bit counts. I'm going to pick up another 10 ounces, I think. Maybe 25. I'd like to get another tube, but yeah, anyways, that's what I'm doing. Hope you enjoyed this little piece, this little segment. This is going to be my larger video in front of my gold and silver stack, talking about real money. I also read a really cool article I want to tell you guys about. Conrad Black, he's a famous Canadian. And he was talking about the need for hard currency and what Canada actually needs to attract capital. So that's it for now.